All right, let's now go ahead and do the same thing, but for this cladding right here that is covering all the way to the next level. So let's go back to the floor plan view. Actually, let's delete this wall right there. Now we have it in view. And let's select the cladding. Let's move it aside. And let's use a curtain wall. And this time use CG05. Double click on it. And let's do the same thing. Just click from the start all the way to the end. Again, you may need to flip it depending on which side did you choose to start with this. And that's going to create a cladding for that area here that is just simply stacked. Let's delete this wall. We're not going to need this anymore. Like so. And then these can be adjusted in height. Should be start at -150. And you can stretch the height with the pet palette option to 7 meters and 500. Now let's wrap around the concrete. So let's go back to the plan view. And let's zoom in into this area right here. Select the curtain wall, click at the end of the construction line. And now you can go and adjust it. I'll do it in this method. Adjust it to this corner here, only to go back to the construction line or reference line of the curtain wall, add a node, and click the previous corner where we used to have that curtain wall element. Right about there. Now let's go to the 3D window and check. And you'll notice that there's going to be a little bit of a gap in there. If you want to close the gap, I'll show you a trick in a minute. So for now, let's go and do the same wrapping around on the other corner. So let's zoom into this corner right here. Then select the curtain wall, just in case. Select the edge of it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to find the 90 degrees intersection line, which should be, if I hit the Q on my keyboard, we should be able to find the 90 degrees angle, which should be right about there. And then add a node and place it right there. Go and double check this in the 3D window. So let's navigate to the right spot. Like so. If it happens to create a gap that is far too big or bigger than it should be, then let's fix the modulation of this. Just click on it. Then go to edit mode. Let's hide the panels for now. Switch on the scheme grid. And let's start by selecting this frame on this side. And let's, instead of using that custom scheme, let's go into the settings. And let's make sure we reset the positioning. Like so. That's going to create a single panel in here. Now let's select the one on the right hand side. Like so. And reset this to 0. Which is going to reset the horizontal positioning of it. So that's going to be part of the fixing. Still the gap is there, but at least we have complete panels. The next thing is to select all the vertical frames, which are in this case invisible, but we're going to use it to close the gap. So let's go back to edit mode. Let's hide the environment for now. And let's click on one of those lines and all the aligned frames. And now, instead of having a 30mm gap, let's close this to 0 and hit enter. And that's going to close the gap in between the panels. Okay, let's take a look. And now we should have a cladding outside for both options, the stack option and the running bond option. Now let's continue with the levels above.